Alright, y'all. I will bring you the last part of my interview with my dear friend Jamie Dion tomorrow, as I thought I'd take today and check in with you all. It seems as though I've not seen you at all in a week. And so much can happen in a week. For instance, I went and voted last week downtown at the State Farm Arena here in Atlanta, and honestly it was the best voting experience I've ever had, even while trying to stifle a slight anxiety attack. But that's because of stadiums and the pandemic, whatever. It was quick and easy, 25 minutes tops. And really, the longest part was walking from the parking deck and then waiting in the very short line and then walking back. Voting itself and getting checked in, that was done in like 5-7 minutes maybe. And part of that too, a large majority of it was spent double checking my ballot to make sure that everything was how I wanted it. And yes, it was. There, for people in the Fulton County area, I know there are at least 3 amendments or ballot initiatives or something on there. So research those before you go. You can go to Ballotpedia or other resources. I found Ballotpedia easiest because you can just type in your address and it tells you exactly what's on your ballot. So get out there and vote. I also found myself getting really emotional at all the volunteers helping to make it happen. Seeing people like that reminds me of the better part of society who wants to help. Look, vote for whomever you want, but just know that the vote you have affects the lives of others. If your vote ends up taking away the right of someone else in their pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, that is quite possibly the most un-American thing I can think of. But I digress. I'm a leading man. No. I'd also be remiss if I didn't speak out on one of the most disturbing things I've heard someone mention. So yesterday, while getting ready to record via Zoom some sketches for Critical Crop Top's upcoming season of programming, a friend mentioned their voting experience in Forsyth County. For those who don't know, Forsyth County, not to be confused with Forsyth the city here in Georgia, was the former home of the KKK. Now, I grew up where Gwinnett, Fulton, and Forsyth County met, and I can honestly say there is a weird energy and vibe growing up in that part of Metro Atlanta. So when my friend began describing her voting experience to me, it scared me. If you'll remember a couple of weeks ago how 45 dog whistled for others to watch the polls, as he's been doing all summer, yeah. She commented that they were there. As she was also standing in line, the only black person in line in an overwhelmingly white part of the metro area, she said someone got out of line and started trying to surreptitiously take pictures or video of her. It just seemed to be a big case of people standing by and ready. A young black woman did tell me, yeah, it was not threatening, but I'm not going to be deterred to vote. Look, that's not something to romanticize, nor are all the long lines and people waiting at them. We're doing these things because we must, but it should not be this way. It is anything but normal. It is not any form of normal. She said she wasn't going to be intimidated, but what about someone who is intimidated? I'd also be remiss if I also didn't caution that our work does not end on November 3rd. What we've seen are deep cracks and faults in the very foundation of our society. If this was a marriage, I'd say that the couple is separated and in serious consideration of whether to remain together. Look, my vote's for divorce, but it's not just up to me. This is generational work that needs to be done to repair these cracks if we want to remain united. If we want to remain and stay the United States, there's work to be done and a new social contract to be drafted so that we are all on the same page and we're all working towards the same goal, because right now we're not at all. But I guess that's enough soapboxing for now. Look, I don't always mean to get on it, but sometimes it just happens. There is a lot going on in the world, and it would be irresponsible of me to not comment on it, especially when, as a minority on top of a minority on top of another minority, like, a lot of these decisions being made affect me and my safety and well-being, and not just me, but people who look like me and people who don't look like me. It affects all of us. So how about we get all on the same page? I don't know. So anyways, with all of that said, I hope you all are braced for a very weird Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. And I hope that you are all doing well and keeping safe. Look, I know we're all tired from socially distancing and fatigued from staying vigilant, but I saw a meme that said it best the other day, that we isolate now so that when we gather again, no one is missing. I know it's been hard to endure this pandemic without considering the level of loss that stays in the back of all of our minds. I'm concerned not only for my health, but also the health of everyone I care about. So, that's all for today. Again, I'll bring you the final part of my interview with Jamie tomorrow, as I'm also working tomorrow, and plus I didn't feel like cutting up that interview just yet. It's been a very lazy day for me, and it's so much easier just to drop in this video with the opening and close and everything else versus going and slicing and dicing. It's been a very lazy day. Look, I slept in until 10 a.m., which never, ever, 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 ever happens. Like, I was excited and also a bit like, what's going on? But I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. Anyways, I love you all. Until next time.